Hello and welcome to a new video. I want to install Linux on my second laptop from 2008. I want to try multiple distros so I could write multiple USB flash drives to install, but you can also use Ventoy. That way you can download multiple distros, ISO files, and put them on one single USB flash drive. The way it works is you first have to install Ventoy on your USB drive. You can download it here. Then you have an installation program, and what it does is, I'll show you what it does. It creates two drives. It creates the drive where you put your ISOs on, and the second drive, probably this one, it uses to boot. So it has the EFI, it has a grub and some tools, and the Ventoy program. So after installing Ventoy, this folder is empty, and here you put your Linux distros you want to try out. So I have downloaded antiX, Lubuntu, PeppermintOS, Puppy Linux, and Zorin OS. I'm not gonna try Zorin OS because this is an old version. It's 32 bits, but I'm not going to use this one. So I tried this one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's start with the first one, Puppy Linux.
What is it? F2. We're going to boot up the system into the BIOS, change the settings of the startup boot sequence to boot priority, to USB. And we have to select the device, then press F6 to move it. F6 to move it up. I see we have multiple USB. We have USB HDD. We have USB FDD. If we just put USB HDD as the first in the priority list, that will be good enough. Then we need a USB, plug it in, and then boot the system. And we're going to check out some Linux versions. I've used Ventoy. It formats the whole USB. You can put ISO files on it and it'll treat it like it's some kind of bootloader or grub. We're going to save and exit, plug in this USB, the back. Let's see if I can find it, like that. And we'll say save configurations, and let's see what it does. Will it access my USB? And it is. Bingo, Ventoy. I have 5 Linux versions. I have antiX, a Lubuntu 32-bit. It's an older version, I think. I have a PeppermintOS Debian based. I have a Puppy Linux and a Zorin OS. Oh, ouch. This says 46-bit. I didn't check that one. So we're not going to do Zorin. I just want to start with the light ones. That's a Puppy and maybe a Lubuntu. I'm leaning towards or antiX or PeppermintOS because they're both Debian based. At least PeppermintOS is Debian based. I want to go Debian in the future anyway. Will it just do the Puppy? I have no idea. Normal mode? Yeah, whatever. So here we have use the up and down keys to highlight an entry. Fatal instant. It's copying the whole stuff to RAM. That's the good thing about Puppy Linux. It's very small. It can fit on the RAM. It needs less than 1 gig of RAM to install your whole system. And that also means it's very quick. So you see it's just booting up. Everything's going as it should. So it changes the screen size. And this is not an installation yet, but this way you can check out Puppy Linux. Look at this. This is how fast it is. Look at that. It's really smooth. I haven't got a real mouse installed, but I like the way how fast the cursor can be moved, even with this small pad I have here. Let's choose. I just want to go for my Dutch. Netherlands. Yes, we say European time, right? Europa. Do we have Amsterdam? Yes. Keyboard. Yeah, I like the US, English US, that's okay. The graphics card, you even recognize it's the Intel video driver, so that's cool. That's really nice. Hostname puppy, blah 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 blah. Well, I'll just have a look around. I'm not going to install any stuff now. This will just be a look around. I just want to see what Puppy Linux offers or what it can do for me. I have no idea. Startup and close. Oh, language pack needed. The local will be changed to, but you need to install a language pack. Okay, that's okay. No need for it now. I don't want to restart now. No. Exit. Wow, sound is also installed already. So that's cool. It has found sound and the drivers for my video card. And it's just a simple Intel video card. The whole system inside this Acer is Intel chip based. Internet connection. Well, if I want internet connection, I need to get a cable. This has Wi-Fi, but it's so old and slow. I'll just use a cable. Click on the button on the right at the icon at the left of the screen. I'm going to find a cable right now. I thought I had a longer cables, but it works. We can continue. So Ethernet connection, let's try it. Connect wireless, dial-up, or wired. Yeah, we need this one. Local area network. Simple network setup, recommended for most people. Okay, click on a button to configure the interface to use. Yeah, this is the one wired, ENP. Okay. Yes, connection to wired network. Okay, well, I have network now. It all goes freaking fast and like the way I want to. Setup, want to install and upgrade video driver, localization, etc., etc. Sound, mouse, keyboard, you name it. You can do that here. Need help? Well, we can do this. Pub control. Well, we can do everything we need. Basic setup, country, time, software, package manager. This is some stuff I want to try and not use. Just for me as a learning experience, I want to learn to use the terminal as much as possible since it's faster. Boot manager, there's so many new options for me. Color selector. Okay. Well, pop control, everything. This is all very nice. I'm going to close this. I just want to see what's on this system. What can we do? I like all these sounds. This is probably my storage. Yes. This is clipboard manager. Okay. This is my battery, sound, and this is desktop. Here are my drives. SDA1. Oh, there's still version of Windows on this system, and he can see that everything that's on this computer is already obsolete. I already backed it up. He's mounting it, so he's not actually on the drive, but he's mounting it to the Linux system. And here we still have the games folder with some emulators, DOSBox. I'm really new to Linux. That's okay. Let's see, there's a terminal. There's terminal, right? Terminal emulator. So I like this one. It's pretty simple. I first have to check what kind of packages are all installed here. Reboot system. Exit to prompt. Hey, what's this? Is this a real terminal? Oh, and it's using the JWM window manager. So that's good to know. Because that's also something I didn't know about. You have a JWM and you have Fluxbox or something. I don't know what the differences are. Do we have something like a start menu, just like in Windows? Applications, yeah, of course. Applications. System, setup, empty paint. So it doesn't have
GIMP
installed. Dog is called Spot, of course. It's very basic, not many utilities. Yeah, your utilities, but not Delta X, view K-view. What's this? This says something about the kernel. So I have kernel 6.653. Graphic it's a screenshot utility. Yeah. You also have, okay, what's this? Puppy theme. A global theme affects all themable modules in Puppy. Changing the looks of your desktop or anything. I'm not going to show that in my videos. I just want to check out. This is text editor, simple, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. Let's try antiX. See if that can be booted. Also normal boot. Oh, okay, here we have save mode. Language, you can change time zones before you boot. I'll just loading Linux kernel. Or it's having a hard time or it's not working. Don't forget this system is from 2008. Oh, it's busy. Yes. Here it goes. Failed. That's okay. Is it stuck or is it still going? I don't hear the drive spinning anymore. I think antiX is a little bit off the charts, too heavy maybe. Oh, it turns out I can type now, but I don't know if this means I'm in a terminal or not. It's not doing anything. Go to reboot. Let's see if I can hold it for 5 seconds. My next choice will be Lubuntu. I'm not going to install it, just take a look at it. Oh boy, wow. We can choose a language directly. Netherlands. Lubuntu installeren? Nee. Let's see if we do install. Will it install or will it first boot up? Oh, the translation of the installation system isn't entirely complete for the selected language. Chances are you will get dialogues that aren't exactly correct. Want to continue the installation with this language? No. Oh boy. Choose a language. Yeah, okay. Okay, you country area, United Kingdom. You can try to have your keyboard layout detected. Keyboard layout detection. If now, no, it's just I don't want Lubuntu installed. Detecting hardware. Yes, the same. Found the same network card, so that's cool. And it's not even connected yet. No, it's not connected. Do not configure network at this time. Enter the name. Oh, okay, he's really going to install. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to do this one. Let's go for Peppermint. So I pressed escape a few times and then I get to this complete list and I say abort installation. So that's also very nice. It actually lets you stop the installation process. Final one. Anti-X didn't work, or maybe I should have started it up in a different PeppermintOS. You have to install the whole stuff. I don't want that. It's still busy. It removed the loading screen, but hey, it's already got a cursor, so it will probably load it now. Yes. Okay, you see? Here again, we first boot into PeppermintOS, but it's not installed yet. So here we have, if we want to install, we can do this one eventually. So about suggested pep docs, online documentation, build, disable auto starts, peppermint community. Well, this is cool. And here we have our taskbar at the bottom for the Windows users. It's a little bit like Windows. This is file manager, of course, XFCE terminal. So we're having the XFCE GUI. Here it has something to say about the battery and the drivers. It probably has found the drivers for the video card as well. And look at the background picture is also very nice and sharp. It looks very awesome. I like this Peppermint. It's also fast. The cursor is less quick than a Puppy Linux. Puppy Linux, well, you can change that. We can change that. Mousepad, simple text editor, graphics, internet, Kumo, Lua Kit. I have to learn all these new program names and stuff. I don't know anything. Mouse and touchpad. Let's do that. Touchpad. 2-finger. Let's set the acceleration to, let's say, 7. Yeah, that's a lot faster. Accessories. Screenshot, task manager. This is also a lights setup. Not many programs are on this system yet. It's not a fully packed. I think if I install the, what's it? This is weird. It goes back up. A mail reader even. Terminal emulator. NeoFetch. I don't think it's on here. Oh, NeoFetch. It's outdated. Hey, what the? My keyboard. This is weird. The O is a 6. How do I type? This, okay. Well, first thing we do is set up the right keyboard. Keyboard. That's funny. How the hell did it detect a keyboard and did it detect something else? Keyboard. Layout. Use system defaults. Keyboard model. Does it have Acer as well? Can we go Acer? Yes, it has Acer. So let's say we'll just do Acer laptop. Maybe add. Let's say, can we have a Dutch that works? Close. I don't think this will. Hey. Okay, I wasn't wrong. The keyboard is okay, but what is it? I have the FN key here, and if you look closely, first do that, like that. And let's see, here we have JKL. And what it also says is 1, 2, 3. So it uses these, but that's the FN. That's the FN key combination. So I have to invert this somehow so it looks at the JKL instead of the 1, 2, 3. Because here we have 5, 4, 5, 6. Maybe this is some kind of numlock option, because then you can go like it's a numlock keyboard. So that's an option I didn't know existed on this system. We can see what version is on here. -A. LSB command I found. Duh. Host name CTL. Wow, this is my computer. Oh, it's a Debian based. Yeah, we knew. GNU Linux 12, Acer Extensa, firmware 1.16, PepOS. So now I only need to know how I can invert this key. Yeah, I looked up the manual for my Acer laptop, and here it says numlock. When numlock is on, the embedded keypad is numeric mode. The key functions as a calculator. So these keys were probably then in numlock mode. If I would just turn off numlock, it would fix the problem. We'll check it directly. So I'm back, and directly the first thing that caught my eye is this LED is on, and guess which LED that is? That's the numlock. FN F11. Then we have terminal here. So if we now type JKL UIO, it was just a numlock. Phew. If we want to boot up the system, we have to make sure that it turns off numlock by default. We can now install. I had to look in the manual for that stuff. That's weird. Hey, why is it going blurry? All right. We'll go for British, English, United Kingdom. Next. Yes. Now we go for Dutch. US. And we can test. And we have numlock off, so everything should be. I want to check that one. All keys working. Yes. Next. What do we want? Well, it has a Vista on here, so we're going to erase, delete all data. No swap. We want to do a swap. And swap is 4 gigs. Yes. Next. What's your full name? Okay, I'm gonna fill in all this stuff. It's all going to be one giant peppermint. And these are the settings. Create MS-DOS partition table. It's the A. System X4. That seems to be a good system. I've made sure I backed all that was on here. Any scare. Next. Now, let's see how fast this goes. Oh boy, we got an error message. Bootloader could not be installed. Installation command returned error code 1. What does that mean? Is now the whole installation failed? Oh boy. Do we have to just format the whole disk another way first before we install this? I think this will be a nice tutorial for people who think or always show that I've watched a lot of videos on installation of Linux versions, and they all went without any hiccups, even last year or this year. Yeah, okay, this is an old system, and there were some versions of Windows Vista on there already. So let's try and just log off and see what happens. If I do shutdown and take out my USB. So it's now shutting down, but it takes some time. Finally turned off. Let's turn it on again. I took out the USB and will it boot? I couldn't create a bootloader. Nothing seems to happen, so I think the installation process just didn't work.
Next, I'm not going to show you all the footage of me trying to install PeppermintOS because I couldn't get it to boot because of this error code. I tried installing a grub manually via the terminal, but I'm not skilled enough or experienced enough to do that. I still have to find out if there is a way to install a bootloader manually because I know the whole installation for the rest went flawless. And then maybe I can start up PeppermintOS on this Acer laptop. I could only get grub for DOS working when I installed Puppy Linux, so that's where I'll start. Before installing Puppy Linux, I have to create partitions manually with gparted to get the installation to finish successfully, or else you get something like this.
Okay, now I get this screen. What the hell is this?
Puppy Linux uses different commands to download and install packages and updates. But before installing Puppy Linux, I first want to flash the BIOS with the latest firmware from 2012. To do that, I first have to reinstall Windows Vista again to be able to use the software that can flash the BIOS with the appropriate files.
Are you sure you want to update the BIOS? Yes. Your screen flashed. Program BIOS. Okay. Okay, it shuts down. This updated BIOS version is from 2012. So that's still 12 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I don't care. It's just, it's a little upgrade, software upgrade. So let's check. We'll do the program again. Hey, it's at 1.35.
Time to install Puppy Linux. We have to use gparted to create partitions. We use the simple installer that can use BIOS. So you need to make new partitions. I had a 74 gig hard drive and I split it up in a 4 gigabyte swap, and the rest is the primary partition, and you also have to flag it as a boot partition. That's very important. After using gparted, you can continue with the installation, and then it will ask if you want to do a frugal installation. And yeah, frugal seems to be the recommended option, so just do that. With frugal, you can add other systems as well by splitting up the partition for a new system. The installation of Puppy goes pretty fast, and then you will get the grub for DOS installer and grub for DOS config. Make sure you select SDA and not the second drive, because SDA mostly is your hard drive and you want to install the grub for DOS on your hard drive. Just press OK to continue and it will bring you to the next part. It will also automatically create an option for Windows. Even if you don't have Windows installed, it will just create a boot option for Windows. So you can still install a Windows after it. And then you install the grub for DOS bootloader. If you want to, you can check the code it's using for the grub for DOS. And it says it's successfully installed. And now everything should be done. And we can reboot the system, and we should then have a void puppy Linux. Now reboot the system. Here we have our grub for DOS bootloader, and we have 3 options. We choose the puppy Linux, of course, and it will do the boot up sequence. Almost the same as when you do it with the USB stick, at least the first time. It still has to load the whole program into RAM. And now it starts up Puppy Linux without the USB stick. You first still have to set the country, time, and the keyboard settings, just like on the USB, and then we can store it so it will save that information for next time. And it won't save it on the USB, just on your hard drive. And then we're good to go and play around with Puppy Linux. I don't know exactly what kind of browsers I can use with Puppy Linux. I have to check that out. It now uses a Lite. If you save your settings, you will get this screen. First shut down and say normal. Save it in a folder, recommended. Select a known name. So I selected my nickname, and then it puts the nickname at the end of the save file. So you have a specific save for your system. I also tried Lubuntu on the laptop. I have no footage of that, just this screenshot. Lubuntu runs pretty good on the system though, but it looks and feels too much like Windows. I know it doesn't work like actual Windows, but all the menus were made to look like Windows. I know you can customize all that, but I don't enjoy spending time on stuff like that. I told you that a Debian-based system has my priority, so you might ask me, why the hell did you install a void-based 32-bit Puppy Linux? That's a good question. I didn't know there was also a Debian-based 30-bit version for Puppy Linux. First attempt of installing Puppy Linux, I used Ventoy and I chose the bookworm pup 32-bit. Normal boot, everything went smoothly. It was a bit slower than the Void Puppy. Things go slower. It checks something, it goes even slower, and then it ends with these error messages. Say that it doesn't recognize the ISO, probably because of the Ventoy setup. Now, the second attempt. I created a USB with Balena Etcher, and now it directly boots into Puppy Linux Debian. It goes a little bit faster than with Ventoy. Everything looks normal. This is the normal procedure. I get a login name. Then we get this weird screen. But it still continues. And then we finally get the visualization of Puppy Linux, Bookworm, Debian. And then I'm stuck. I can't use the mouse, can't use my keyboard. I also tried inserting a USB mouse and tried to get it working that way. That also didn't work. The only thing that I could think of is I can also boot into Puppy Linux on a terminal and no GUI. But then I don't know how to progress to get the same GUI as we see here. So let's go to the last part of the video, the comparing of the two laptops with the new software.
Okay, we have both laptops back again, both with new systems on it. One has Linux and the other one has XP. Gonna start them up and see how long it takes. 1, 2, 3.
XP startup is the fastest of all with almost 51 seconds. Good news. Puppy Linux is the slowest of all with 1 minute and 11 seconds. Also good news. The old laptop is given a new life. Okay, this test doesn't say anything about the actual speed of the system. It doesn't show how quick it is when you're actually using it. I know that Puppy Linux uses less RAM than Vista and XP, so it is very efficient and still an upgrade for the laptop. I just thought it would be fun to compare these startups. The only thing I want to try is get PeppermintOS running by installing a bootloader or grub manually or install Puppy Linux Bookworm with terminal commands. I don't want to spend time on that now. Sorry. I saw on the Peppermint forum that many new users had problems with the same bootloader error as well. I couldn't test all Linux distros. I have some other newer laptops lying around that I can try it out on. None of these distros are bad, by the way. They just don't all work on this specific laptop. Too bad. My next video will be a challenge video. I'm going to try and fix a cartridge problem on an HP PhotoSmart printer. Bye!